And welcome to Mike Ferry TV. It is the week of June 20th, a great week in the June month because we're almost at the halfway point in this year. How are you doing? Are you staying on track? Are you close? Do you have to make some adjustments? Last week, in doing the West Coast tour, which I do, which is just so much fun, I was in Northern California, and I spoke to a client, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Drysdale Properties up in the Northern California area, and it was very unique because I had a group of which I think there were 220 people in the room for 3 hours, and probably 95% were attending a Mike Ferry seminar for the first time. So it was a lot of fun. I like getting new people to talk to because most of my seminars, I have this wonderful group of 80,000 clients nationwide. I get to see them all the time. So this was a new group. I was trying to help them understand the importance of learning a canned presentation. You've heard me talk about it hundreds of times in the past. And what I did is I gave them the example, which I'll again ask you to look at carefully. I said the NAR stats say that if an agent, yourself, goes on 100 listing presentations in the course of a year, you're going to list 20 which will sell. In the case of this Berkshire Hathaway company, average commission checks say $10,000. If 20 sell, agent makes $200,000, which by all standards, in most of North America is a good living. So you would have a comfortable living, $200,000. And then I took them through and said, now on the other side of that, we have an MFO trained agent that really is into what we teach. They go on 100 presentation, they take 70 listings to sell, $10,000 per transaction, they make $700,000. Now watch, both agents went on 100 listing presentations. One took 20 that sold, one took 70 that sold. They both earned $10,000 per transaction. One earned $200,000, one earned $700,000, or the right side, the Mike Ferry trained agent, earned $500,000 more in income, which I know for some of you is incomprehensible, and I understand that. $500,000 more, and they did exactly the same amount of work. They both went on the same number of presentations, put out the same effort and energy, and the difference in income is $500,000. So I said to them, would you like to know how that takes place? Of course, they were a very enthusiastic audience. I have to tell you, we had 220 people in the room. At the end, I asked them if they'd like to go to the retreat coming up in another month. And believe it or not, 71 of the 220 bought a ticket to the retreat. So they liked this message, and I want to thank them for that. Gretchen does a great job as the owner. Frank Trifoletti is I think it's the exact title is Executive Vice President. Great group of agents. Tom Hart, one of the sales managers, big supporter. Well, what I want you to think about is this. They followed my thought process in understanding the importance of the MFO sales process. Now, here's the biggest challenge that I have fought for 41 years, because we just celebrated our 41st year. Trying to get you to understand the thought process behind what we teach. Because it's a combination first of, okay, here's what I want you to say and do, and then over here is assimilating those thoughts into your head and allowing yourself to go say them and do them. And they're two different processes. And I know it sounds complicated, and you'll want to watch this week's TV program several times to get this. I understand that. Here's what you say and do. Here is assimilating the thoughts into your head so you can say them and do them on a regular basis. Because see, what we teach has to become part of you. One of our coaching competitors has an interesting concept, which I totally disagree with. We're going to coach you on what you already do. What does that mean? Well, tell us what you do, we'll make it better. So if you're holding open house, they're going to make open houses better? I mean, really? If you're passing out flyers in your farm, they're going to teach you how to pass out better flyers in your farm? Really? Well, now watch. We're not going to teach you nonsense. We're going to teach you, as we've been doing now for several years, how to specifically do certain things to get a certain result. But you have to up here accept that to make that happen. Because as some of you have heard me say, it is 50% skills, 50% mindset, and 50% taking action. Well, Mike, that's 150%. Well, that's what it takes. If you want to build a predictable, duplicatable, productive, profitable business, It takes way more than what you think, and part of that is the assimilation into this head of yours so it can process and come out of your mouth in a fashion that is yours. See, I want you to say what we teach, but I know you're going to say it in your fashion, with your style, your gestures, your movements, your smile, your voice, etc. Think about this. You can sing a song on the radio that you listened to in high school. You can sing it just like that when the radio comes on. It's your voice and it's your rock and roll. It's not the singer's at the time. Same thing with what we try to teach people to do with listing property. It has to become you. Well, it was interesting because to have a new audience connect that quickly with me is very unusual. Because everybody says Mike Ferry teaches this hardcore, tough method. It's not hardcore tough. Either you want to sell your home or you don't. Complicated, isn't it? Either you'll answer the questions to help me determine what to do to help you, or you won't. Either you're going to let me make a listing presentation or you're not. This is not hardcore. This is called basic fundamental selling. So what I did then is I took this wonderful group at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services through the Mike Ferry listing process. I said, number one, you have to pre-qualify 100% of the people, 100% of the time, no exceptions, and you know that. Why? Because it saves you time, saves you energy. If you're walking into a house where the seller is pre-qualified and you know what they're trying to accomplish, you can smoothly make a transference of information from you to them that they can understand to sign a contract. So therefore, you never go out without pre-qualifying. And then number two, mail or deliver a non-ego pre-listing package. You got to jump the barrier. You got to jump the fence. I tried to put barrier and fence together there. You got to jump over that little hoop that is keeping you from going ahead and using the pre-listing package the way we say. It doesn't have to be dressed up. It's a pre-listing package. It's information they need to know before you get to the house. And then step three, call back and confirm that they've read the package, seen the package, used the package, understand the package. 15, and of course, step four, show up 15 minutes early. Physically, mentally, emotionally, get there, be prepared, so at 5 minutes before the appointment, you can walk up as an authority and do your job. And then, of course, step five is read the scripts to them. Read the scripts. And it's interesting how we fight that. And what I talked to this great group in Northern California about was they already have a script, the one they've been telling themselves in their mind for years as to what they should say to get the 20% versus the 70%. The 20% gets you your result with your script. The 70% gets you your result with our script implemented by you. Read the scripts. I'm reading my notes. I got them right here. You've never seen me speak without them. Why? Because I want to make sure I can do the job at the highest level possible for you to make sure you understand what I'm trying to accomplish so you can go out and do what you want to accomplish. So I have to tell you, working with a completely brand new group one day last week, I did 8 seminars in 4 days, 8 locations, and that was fun because to have a group of people that's eyes were this big and they were excited and they had a smile on their face and they were pumped up and enthused made a big, big difference as to the result. Want to change your result? Then change what you say, change how you say it. Take what we teach, put it in your words. I've only told you that several hundred times over the years, and I'm going to keep saying it because I know we have to be reminded. Let's make this week a great, great week, and I'll look forward to talking to you next week. Thank you.